And we are live. So, hello everyone. A warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining us again with this new session of the Let Us Talk It Zipinar. So, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch as well. So, you can visit our YouTube page on uh, Let Us Talk It. So, that's with an exclamation mark at the end. So, and today we have two new topics and two new guest speakers that they will share their valuable experience and their insights with regards to the topic that they will be sharing. So, Let Us Talk It is an initiative where we create a platform for free knowledge sharing, as we believe that knowledge should be free. And then, though information is available anywhere using the internet, but definitely knowledge being shared by like with the experience of a seasoned professional like our speakers today, it will hit different. So you will be able to learn information from a different perspective. So come and listen to these topics that we have today as we start by introducing the first topic. So the first talk today is a voice of the young person in climate action. And this topic will be covered by Margaret Moss Combe, so a maritime and environment lawyer. So, with regards to the topic, just a little information is that like the world is changing, and so are we. So humans. So the world terms millennials and especially the Gen Zs as a special breed. So they are people who are refusing to conform to social norms. They are not the past generation, and they care about their mental health, and most of all, have ensured that they will be heard. And so the speaker that that is here with us today is an engineering project manager with I'm sorry. So she is a female lawyer based in one of the coastal towns in Kenya called Malindi, and very passionate about women and youth rights, digital rights, marine and environment conservation, and a climate change justice advocate. And she believes in being heard, and she encouraged the youth to raise their voice on global issues affecting the world. And without further ado, I'll introduce to you Margaret to deliver the first topic for today. So, yes, Margaret, please take over.
Thank you, Phil. I'm happy to be here today. And from my introduction, I'm a maritime and environment lawyer. I major mostly in youth and women rights vis-a-vis climate change and climate change justice. And before we begin, let's understand what is climate action. Climate action is Sustainable Development Goal number 13, where it is to limit and adapt to climate change. It is one of the 17 sustainable development goals by the United Nations, which was established by the General Assembly in 2015. And actually, the official mission statement of this goal is to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. So, when regarding to the voice of the youth, what are we talking about? We're saying that the youth, the millennials, the Gen Z, this is the present of our day, not our future, but the present. And climate change is one of the immediate topics combating the world. All over the world, we are facing climate change. This can actually be seen by the change of the climate patterns in our countries, in our continent. And it's actually, climate action is actually a vibrant movement that has been going on, but in the current time, it has been vibrant. We have seen movements by the youth, and we continue to see more and more voices coming out. So in the recent times, we have seen even the UN and other international organizations coming up with conventions and agreements, protocols to combat climate change. We have the IMO, they have the strategy on reduction of greenhouse gases emission to decarbonization of the shipping industry.
Yes, go on. Go.
Sorry.
Continue.
Yeah. So decarbonization of the shipping. Okay. We have the Paris Agreement. We have so many protocols and conventions in place to see that we combat climate change in various industries in the world. And in my country, we have actually seen under the Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, we have actually passed regulations on carbon markets, which is actually part of climate change. But that is a whole different conversation where we can have their critics against carbon market, carbon taxing regimes, where they say that that is a whole movement that is not actually positive towards climate change. However, I will not be going into that because that is quite controversial at the moment. However, what are the ways that the young people can actually raise their voices? We have the social media. We have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, and the Gen Zs can actually attest. We have seen the movements that have been happening in Twitter, currently known as X. We have seen it in TikTok movements. We have seen rallies taking place online, not just on climate change, but on other issues, critical issues in the society, like mental health advocacies. We have seen various movements in Japan, in Korea, where the youth are coming out to challenge the traditional norms in our society. So one of the major ways we have the youth can actually raise their voice is through social media. However, we ought to be very careful when using social media because there's a lot of misinformation that goes in the platforms, in our social media platforms, where we're going also to be talking about digital rights, digital rights versus climate change, where we need to have a way that we can curb misinformation. There is a lot of misinformation going around, especially pertaining not just other topics in our society, but also in climate change, what we are now calling greenwashing information that is happening. And we need to be very careful as movements that are actually trying to bring a positive change. However, it's going to be detrimental if we are going to have misinformation. So we have social media, we have regional and international platforms, we have youth affiliated platforms. We have actually in this November, from 30th November to 12th December, there is COP28 that is going to happen in Dubai, where we're going to see youth climate change ambassadors who are going to sit, they are convening in Dubai to discuss various issues. Among them is green financing, okay? So these are platforms, international platforms, where the youth can actually appear and represent and have their voice heard. We have the UNESCO Youth Forum, we have the UN Framework on Convention on Climate Change, youth affiliated events. So we have so many events and so many platforms that can actually help the youth to raise their voice. So we actually get to see their various green ambassadors. And when I'm talking about the young people, I'm not talking about 20s to 30s. We are talking about even less than 18 years. we actually have, I was looking at one of the youngest, okay, maybe probably right now she's not the youngest, but then she was, Greta Thunberg. She was very active. She led a movement in her country where she brought a school strike. She didn't go to school, and she said she won't go to school, where she challenged the Swedish government, okay, where there was something happening there which was against the climate conservation actions, and she was successful, where the government was able to listen to her. So we also have, there are various ways apart from all this. You can even actually have your own. It begins as an individual effort. We have so many platforms. You can have groups, and we can also have individual platforms where you can raise your voice. WhatsApp is also a good platform where you can raise your voice. It doesn't mean that you need to be making videos to be heard. It's just the smallest steps begin with even posting various information, screenshots of useful informations on how to combat climate change, on what is happening in the global space concerning climate change. So this is one of the reasons why it is very important for the youth to take the space, because once the youth begin to have this conversation, then we can be able to get that conversation to the older generation. The older generation have been known to be rigid, but once we get to explain the information to them, make the information available to them, it begins with just having a small talk with your parents, with your grandparents, with your uncles, in any gathering around where you're working, at home. That is how we begin. And when we take this information, we also take it to the younger ones from below 18 and below, as even as low as 7 years. When we begin this conversation of why we need to plant trees, why mangroves are important, why it is important not to dispose of plastics on our oceans, seas, water bodies, or why it is social responsibility when you get a plastic bottle or plastic while you are out there walking on the beach, collect it and properly dispose it. We are actually calculating a culture of actually caring for our environment and also conservation efforts. So it's not just, I'm not talking about people who are 18 and above. This is something we can calculate in our younger generation, younger even before they get to that point where they can make their own defined choices. We need to calculate that culture in them. You see, so there are so many activists right now. I'm actually very involved in LinkedIn, very active in LinkedIn. That is also a platform where you can be able to communicate, to engage, and also to interact with other youth ambassadors who are very loud, who are raising their voices, who are also posting what they're doing in their countries, in Asia, in Caribbean, in Africa, in Kenya, you see, in America. This is where you get to see ideas and see if you can implement them to where you are, the space you are in. It begins with one voice, one step. It begins with one action towards the same goal. So I was recently reading an article where scientists are saying actually climate change is actually an emergency. It's not something we can no longer postpone. We need to get to it. We need to be vibrant to get solutions towards it, because we have already seen the nature patterns are changing, more natural disasters are happening, the heat waves, so many things are happening. And this is not a conversation to say that it's not my responsibility. This is something that is affecting all of us. So whether you say that it's not something to bother me, this is something that is going to bother you, because climate change also goes deep. It also affects our food production, our water. So it is a whole cycle that we need to cultivate and we need to take part in. What I can say also, there are various ways that we have found in even in professions in the climate change space. We have climate change litigation, though this stands to be guided by the legal personnel, where there was a landmark ruling, actually judgment in Montana, that is Held versus Montana, where they were youth. They were from age 18 or below, actually, who sued their county government, their local government, actually their state government, where there was something that was happening in their state, and one of the plaintiffs actually gave testimony to explain that this fossil fuel that was being used by a certain industry was actually causing changes in their family ranch. So she was able to testify. Among other plaintiffs was an indigenous native resident who also said that the way the land is changing is also affecting their cultural rights and how they practice their culture. And it was quite a very good landmark case and landmark judgment. And actually, they won against the state, where it even brought an amendment that now will require an environment assessment, mandatory environment assessment, before such a project is carried out in an area. So what I can say, even in the litigation space, that is also one of the ways that the youth can actually raise their voice. When you're seeing something that is happening in your area and you begin to question whether it is legal, whether it is within the environment laws, it's actually within your right to be able to question. And this is something that we have seen with the Gen Zs. They question, they are very loud, and they question. They don't let it slide, if that is the vocabulary I can actually use. It's good to question everything. Where we see that affluents, untreated sewage is being released to our rivers, water bodies, that is something we can actually question and be able to get answers to it. So class actions or litigation, climate change litigation, that is one of the ways that actually the youth can be able to raise their voice, make it known. When I refer to this case, Montana case, Held versus Montana, they are able to get a verdict that actually changed part of their law, part of the environment law, that now requires companies that are going to use fossil fuels to be able to be accountable. There is that accountability, which most of the times most companies don't follow the procedures, and that actually affects the climate. So one of the one other way is how the youth can actually raise their voice by peer-to-peer conversations when we are having talks. What are we talking about? Okay, we can always have talks, but can we also have something to do with climate change? And this information is everywhere and anywhere. You can actually access it. We have the UN websites. They are very informative. And it was very interesting to actually see in Instagram and even in TikTok, people are able to do kind of videos in seconds to just show what actually climate change is. Unfortunately, I was unable to get some of those pages, and of course, but it was very interesting. You can actually do a clip that is very short and precise with the information, which is very catchy for the youth. They can actually watch. And there's something in psychology where they say when you see something over and over again, it begins to stick in your mind. That is how habits are also built. So, what I can say is, how can the youth be involved and have their voice heard? Raising your voice is one thing, and having your voice heard is another. So, how can we have this? We have already talked about power of social media, of course, considering also the digital rights, and also getting the right information to avoid misinformation, because right now the world that is in, especially in TikTok, in social media, where you give misinformation or the wrong information, you're actually going to be held accountable, and it's not really something nice. When people are actually holding you accountable, there is no mercy. So you need to be very careful with the information you're putting out, and also information that you're relaying. So another way is take part in your local conservation projects. This is something that I've been able to see how the youth are involved in conservation projects. We have so many conservation projects in every country, if not all. I am assured that there are projects. So one of these projects could be tree planting, beach cleanups, anything to do. It takes just only one step towards climate change, where if you are someone who is not in the space where you're involved with policy, change of laws, change of policy, global platforms, you can still take part in the conversation and in the movement by taking part in your local conservation projects. As young professions, it's also advised to find mentors. Find mentors who are actually going to guide you in these movements, climate change movements. It's very hard. When I entered into this space in specialization, it was very hard for me to begin to do this on my own. But I was able to get mentors who referred me to trainings, conferences, webinars, that I was able to now specialize and also get to venture into the climate change and climate action movement. So it's very important to get mentors. Okay, and one thing, was something else is conferences, webinars, workshops. These are places where the young people can actually attend. When you attend, you're able to access people who are in the policy making spaces, law making spaces. That is where you can be able to raise your voice and be heard. Okay, it takes one person. Sometimes, yes, you can be able to stand, ask questions, make suggestions, and feel maybe you are not heard. But as you continue to do it, there is always that one person who will pick those points, those suggestions that you're making. And right now, it's true that even the older generation are beginning to listen to the youth, to the young people. What are they saying? Because the times have changed. Even in our workplaces, things have changed. Young people are advocating for so many things: mental health awareness, mental health wellness, better working conditions. So this is one of the ways how you can raise your voice and your voice can be heard. So another thing is individual effort, that is conversation with the peers. And another thing is also having conversations with your community leaders, change makers in your spaces. Even in activities like sports, we are able to see that you can be able to change, have that conversation also running. So I believe the youth is the present and not the future, and we need to take space. We need to be heard, and we need to be heard now. Yeah, thank you, Phil. I think my time is up, if I'm not wrong, Phil.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I really agree with the details that you have shared about this current time, and just for the out of
Out of
curiosity,
curiosity,
with the
with the
activists, like
activists, like
those young just trying to raise their voice, like has there been cases that they were like placed in danger, or someone's like another group opposes them of some sort? Has there been cases like that?
Okay, in the present, where I am, so far we have received support, but I can actually say that when you're raising your voice, it's not always easy. There's always people who will be able to push back. Change doesn't come within one day. That is the unfortunate thing. But you keep on pushing, and eventually they'll be able to listen to you and also get you on board on what you want to be done.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for answering that part. Would like to encourage our attendees to raise your questions or insights if you have any. You can raise your hands. I mean, yeah, the raise hand button. Okay. If not, as of the moment, you can leave your questions on the chat. Margaret will still be with us throughout to answer those questions on the chat area. But if any, Margaret, are you doing any coaching or seminars in the future, or any events about the activists that you would like to send invitations to those who will be watching this recorded and currently watching this live session?
Currently, we are not doing any, but in the future, we are actually looking into doing webinars and seminars. So, yeah, that is a possibility that we are looking in going to. Yeah.
All right. And can you share your contact details, if any? I actually contacted Margaret on LinkedIn, so you can search her as well. And she's very active, as she mentioned, and she responds promptly. So, any other ways that they could reach you in case they wanted to collaborate or get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'll leave my details in the chat box, but you can reach me on my LinkedIn and in my email. I also have my office email. Yeah, actually, my office email is more reliable compared to my personal. Yeah, so I'll leave the details in the chat box.
All right, there you go. So, thank you so much again, Margaret, for that insightful session that you have given for the topic. And now we will be moving for the next topic that we have today. And yes, the next topic would be unleashing your professional potential. So, a path to success. So, actually, this is a good topic as well that will be provided to us by our esteemed guest speaker. And the topic actually covers a fast paced and competitive business world where we are living right now. So, professionals at all levels strive to unlock their full potential, whether you're a manager, business tycoon, or an aspiring professional. So, unleashing your professional potential is a key stepping stone towards achieving success. And to talk with this topic is that we have Linda Nukaidi. I hope I read that one properly, Linda. And she is a senior engineering project manager who has more than 10 years experience in PMC, EPCM, interstate piping, mega industrial construction project, engineering, and general management, and is highly skilled and experienced in management, budgeting, and cost control, stakeholders management, piping engineering productions, process engineering, and well regarded for people management, planning, and continuous improvement, and has excellent project delivery within stipulated and budgeted time. And without further ado, let me introduce to you Linda, who will cover the topic for us in terms of unleashing your professional potential. Yes, Linda, please take over.
Thank you, Phil, for that wonderful introduction. I'm really happy to be one of your guest speakers for this webinar. Success is not a destination, I would say, it is a mindset. And that is why I want to speak on this topic, unleashing your professional potential, a path to success. You see, in the pursuit of a fulfilling and successful professional journey, it is truly crucial not to hold back. Embracing growth, taking risk, and most importantly, stepping out of your comfort zone are key elements that can propel your career to new heights. So in this discussion, we will explore some strategies and insights that will help you overcome self-doubt, because sometimes we all do have that moment of self-doubt. So some strategies that will help you understand how and when to seize opportunities, some strategies that will help you tap into your capabilities and develop more effective skills. They can propel your career to new heights and then unlock your full potential. And that is more reasons you shouldn't hold back on your professional journey. So you need to embrace growth and success. And for you to do that, one of the fundamental key is self-confidence. You see, self-confidence comes from the subconscious mind and belief. Okay, most times a lot of people reaffirm themselves of their self-confidence only to fail in the midst of challenges. The fact still remains that our subconscious mind holds some beliefs and emotions and memories of years to years that can influence our self-perception and impact our confidence. So by exploring and addressing all forms of negative beliefs or patterns in our subconscious, we can work towards building a strong sense of self-confidence. So you need to believe in yourself and your abilities, whether you're a leader or someone aspiring to climb the leadership ladder, or even as an intern. You need to recognize your strength, your skills, and of course, your accomplishments for leaders anyway. You need to develop a positive mindset and banish every atom of self-doubt that is sitting within you. So embracing self-confidence will empower you to take on challenges and pursue ambitious goals. You see, Lion isn't referred to as the king of the jungle for nothing, because it faces challenges head on. Its confidence and bravery and strategic nature, the southern level, it subconsciously have that confidence that no matter how tough the jungle is, it can never, ever eat grass. It's their nature, no doubt about that, or no argument about that, which is a true symbol of perseverance, resilience, strategic thinking and leadership in the animal kingdom anyway. In other words, for you as a business owner or a corporate leader, you need to have that belief that no matter how tough the economy is, no matter how rough the corporate and the business world is, you must survive. You must strive for excellence. So you must be brave in the midst of rejections and denials. Let confidence speak bravery into you. As we all are aware that over the decade, the public view and nature of jobs have changed considerably. Technical and technological know-how has become a prerequisite for many leading roles. The most critical part is it looks as if we are in an era where volatility is a norm. So business owners and corporate leaders have to deal with turbulent waves of external disruptions time after time, where external pressures are constantly changing, with clients and other stakeholders demanding much more than they used to do. It's no longer business as usual, like we normally say, where predictions are pinned as charts without bonds. So you as a business owner, as a business development manager, or as a leader in the corporate world, you should know when to launch that product into market. Okay, you need to know when to deliver your business pitch, when to innovate, when to collaborate with others, whether team collaboration or business margin. You need to know when to withdraw and re-strategize, because what you sell is the needs of others, not your business name or your corporate designation. Though some people buy brands or business name in form of luxury, but the major need is the services or product it offered. In other words, your services is what is needed, and not you as an individual. Well, please don't get it wrong, okay? I'm not saying you are unimportant or your presence is undervalued, but what you do and how you do it is what matters. Because when someone else does it perfectly and better than you will be substituted. There's no two ways about it. If you as an individual in an organization or a corporate entity fails to meet up expectation, it definitely be just substituted. There's no way, two ways about it. And that is the honest truth. So, God in heaven, Christian, what happened? So, what I'm saying in essence is, like I'm having network issues here or something, I don't know.
Yes, we can still hear you, though. Okay. Well, yeah. Um, so this kind of things do happen sometimes. So we'll just have to wait a little. Some connectivity issues.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can. Your video is paused, but yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Is there any way I can get a video or something? Yeah, thank goodness. Honestly,
Yes, it's back.
yeah, the whole of
Should
this
be
is
fine.
something else. So, thank you so much for that. I'm sorry for that little disruption somewhere out there.
Yes,
I'm sorry
that's
about that.
totally fine.
Okay. So, like what I said earlier is if you as an individual or in an organization or a corporate entity fails to meet up to your expectations, you will be definitely be substituted. So that's the honest truth. So what I'm saying in essence is self-confidence will help you to develop a competitive mindset. It will help you to develop a resilient mindset, which will help you in the midst of challenges and denials. It will help you bounce back from setbacks and learn from failures and keep you moving forward. The next thing I have to talk about here is recreating your personal and professional value by discovering what drives you in your professional life and identify and pursue your passion. So you need to discover what truly motivates you, what truly excites you in your professional life. When you identify your passion, the things that you are more passionate about, you can align them with your career goals. Because when you are passionate about your work, you are more likely to excel and find fulfillment along your professional journey. You need to set your professional goal. That's in terms of career development. Yes, when you have a well-defined, clear goals for your professional journey, and of course, achievable goals anyway, you can comfortably create a roadmap for success. And a successful preparation process will help you design steps for your professional journey by strategically breaking them down into smaller achievable steps in terms of short and long-term objectives to enable you adjust your process and track your progress. Therefore, you have to ensure you are building capabilities in ways that add strength and muscle to your qualifications so that you will prepare yourself for more challenging role at any proven stage of your corporate journey. Are you aspiring to be an entrepreneur? Because this topic is trying to cover a range of a set of people, business owners and leaders, corporate leaders, and even intern, okay? Try to cover them so you know the category where you belong. So I'm trying as much as I can to reach out to as many as possible. So if you are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, like I said earlier, and you're struggling to generate a business idea, convert your passion into business, or still buy business ideas from gurus and experts to nurture them for you. You can learn and you can learn and take over from them with time. If you go to YouTube today or Instagram, you will see many passions converted into business. Those that love exercises become weight loss coach, communications at all levels, comedy, filmmakers, drama, name them. Even foodies now are now chefs. So people are paying for their services directly or indirectly, and they're making their cool cash. Writers and speakers are directly or indirectly making their money online. So whatever your passion is, develop it into something valuable, something worth paying for. For example, I would say you are passionate, let's say you're passionate about binary and numbers, or you love gaming, you could see some opportunities in software development. Despite you being an accountant or a legal practitioner or or medical practitioner, it doesn't matter. You can create a roadmap that will help you to become a software developer or financially invest in a software development industry. Converting your passion into business, which I call a passion in quote. If you love traveling, you can turn it into a traveling auto business. whatsoever it is that your passion is. If you are struggling to generate an idea, start with that which you love most, which is your passion. Okay. Now, my question is, what drives you? For instance, during my undergraduate studies, days in the Faculty of Engineering, we always visit pilot plants to practically learn about oil and gas industry. Oil and gas operations, let me be specific about that. But no one taught me about plant design and construction practically, apart from theory. Okay, I started imagining how refineries and petrochemical plants are built. So curiosity became a driving force to my passion for EPCM projects. When I reminisce those days, when I spent my days then almost thinking of how to be in the EPC sector of the oil and gas industry. As at then, I don't know what the name to target, but it became a driving force for my ambition to know how to build refineries, to do some construction jobs like construction of vessels and all the rest, and be part of it. After my youth service, that was the first job I got employed at anyway. So your passion must start somewhere. If you are a corporate leader, you should ask yourself, what drives you as a leader? Are you coming into an organization? Let me put it that way. If you are coming into an organization as a top executive, what will you deliver? As a business leader, what promise to your company? What's your promise to your company and the people you are coming to lead? What valuable change or impact are you bringing to the table? You should state bluntly a well-detailed and a clear vision on your proposed company's transformation and how you will achieve that particular goal. So what kind of distance do you intend to put between you and the other top executives in your organization in terms of value creation? You need to leverage your inner strength and drive breakthrough in what others found difficult time creating. You have to show whatever experience and knowledge or skills, and of course those decisive moves you can execute that can add value to your vision. You need to have that self-confidence to lead your crew, to face external stakeholders. Now the question is, what type of leadership approach are you more conversant with? When you are handling your team or your crew or within the unit, a particular business unit you are handling. So what works for you? Is it the transformational or the transformative leadership, or even both? Are you combining the two? Because if you are someone that loves the transactional approach, okay, let's say you're a manager that you have some jobs or projects that require a high level of competency. You absorb people that know what to do and when to do it. They get their tasks delivered without hassle. And you won't tolerate any form of mediocrity or incompetence. It doesn't mean you are inhuman or mean, but what needs to be done must be done perfectly well. On the other hand, there are situations where you as a manager will show empathy and groom some team members who are lagging by providing necessary training and coaching to help them succeed in their role or assigned task. So you should choose an approach to make positive impact to your team and your organization you're working with. Though I will recommend both because you need them in different aspects of leadership. Okay, that's by the way. Are you aspiring to be a manager? You can create a roadmap that will help get you there. Engaging in managerial courses will take you far, but being experienced will get you stabilized. So if you are eyeing a leadership role, you need to take on a challenging task that will showcase your leadership prowess. The truth is, the best way to introduce new thinking is to introduce new thinking. Okay? In other words, the best way to introduce yourself is to be yourself. Make valuable contributions when collaborating with others. Take full responsibilities and initiative to deliver any task assigned to you. Seize every moment to improve your abilities, and don't forget to learn. Continue to learn and learn always. Well, I would say to you, or my advice is always strive to bring in
Okay. So yeah, let's have a little pause. There might be some few issues again with the connectivity. So far, anyone who has questions? Okay, checking live. Yes, for those who are watching live, thank you so much for staying up until now with this session. It's actually a great topic, and yes, we do have some few connectivity issues, and yeah, there she goes. So she got disconnected. Let me just check with her real quick. Okay, so while waiting, yeah, did you have any opinions or questions, Margaret? If you were to ask.
Uh, Concerning the topic that the other speaker is speaking.
Yes, concerning the other topic, yes.
Yeah, I actually find it very informative because I'm actually in a place in my career, I'm actually advancing, and it's quite insightful. It's quite sad that we have lost her, but I wish she could come back and actually finish because I'm actually finding it informative myself.
Yes, so you're planning on taking a higher leadership role aside from the being activist as well.
Yes, yes.
Yes, wonderful. All right, so I'm checking with her right now. See if she will be coming back, or we'll have to close current session. And yes, thank you for sharing your contact details. Okay. All right. So I hate to actually get the people hanging for this current time being, and since we are few minutes uh until the actual webinar session is completed. Well, I really thank each and everyone who had joined Zoom, and also who has watched the live on YouTube and on Facebook as well. So thank you so much, everyone. And yes, we may have some further questions supposedly with the topic. But yes, I'm afraid that it's unavoidable that we are to encounter connectivity issues. But still, we are very pleased, and we are thankful that we have such wonderful speakers that we have today, which is Margaret and Linda, who have shared their insights and personal experience with the topics that they have shared. So, yeah, I'm afraid to say that we have to conclude the Zipinar earlier than expected. And well, again, I want to give my thanks. And also, if you wish to collaborate, be a speaker, feel free to visit www.letustalkit.com, and there you will see our past webinars, and you can also fill up some forms there if you wish to become a guest speaker, or you can search me on LinkedIn as well. So my name there, it's Filjohn, Anthony. So you can just type it on LinkedIn, and I can respond to you and give you schedules if you wish to be a guest speaker. And yes, we would like to give thanks as well to the company behind this initiative of giving free knowledge, allowing speakers, coaches, and speakers who are just starting on their journey to public speaking to have a chance to be heard in this platform and share their experience and knowledge as well. The company is Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. Their website is cogentibs.com. And yes, they're an IT company. And if you have IT needs for your startup companies or currently established companies, you can visit the website. So that's Cogent, Cogent, IBS.com. So thank you so much again, everyone. And this concludes the webinar for today. And thank you, speakers, for giving us your time and efforts. So each and everyone, yes, we wish you goodbye and see you again next Wednesday for new topics and new guest speakers that will join us. So thank you so much and see you again soon.